Well, we're going to take a look at your grain trade in just mere moments, and we'll bring in some guest analysis from Chicago. In the meantime, I did want to point out some overnight export sales that were reported by USDA this morning. It was right before the markets opened up. Let's take a quick peek at those numbers for you, and we'll see if they have any market impact or not. Well, overnight, USDA said we had 2 tranches of soybeans that were sold. One was to China. One was to unknown destinations, both of them for the very same amount. It was for 132,000 tons of soybeans to each one. Both of them were for the new crop that's going to be harvested here in the next couple of months, 2017 and 2018. New crop sales there. So 2 fairly sizable sales on the soybeans. But did it matter? Well, let's find out by going to the trading floor in Chicago, where we have none other than Todd Bubba Horwitz of BubbaTrading.com standing by. What's the answer, Todd? Did the sales help the soybeans or not today?
The answer is good morning, Marlin, and no, the numbers did not help, and that sounds a little fishy to me, the exact same quantities, but no, it did not help at all. As we can see, we broke that 940 level. Unfortunately, I think we're looking at $9 now, if not lower than that. We broke some very crucial areas here in the beans, and I don't think that there is not a lot of hope for them today. Now, it could change tomorrow, but right now they do not look very good at this moment here.
Now, this could be breaking news right here. Todd Bubba Horwitz turning into a bear on the soybeans, possibly. So, really, you think we could see sub-9s now?
Well, again, I had that key level at 940, and once we broke it, it brings in, about 880 is the lowest I could see us going now. Now, again, we could turn around and get back and hold that 940, but we've been below it now for a number of days, which is not a bullish sign. And from a trading perspective, I'd be looking to sell at 940 if we got back there for a trade. And again, so it's nothing to do with farming or producing, but it does have something to do with it from a trader's perspective. So that's what I'd be looking at.
How sold out is South America? I'm real curious about that. Do they still have a bunch to market yet or not?
They always have a bunch to market. It's an amazing stat that we find out, Marlon. When certain markets want to move, it doesn't matter whether there's either always money on the sidelines, they always find beans in the bins, there's always something somewhere until there's a major crisis, and then they can't find it. But right now, they've got plenty as far as I know.
Okay, let's run through these here. We'll start with the corn, and we can get to the soybeans here in a second. On the corn market, under pressure, we have September down 5, December down 5 1/4 at 371, still within a penny of our low of the day so far. On the soybean trade that we were just talking about, September down 5 3/4 at 927 per bushel, while the new crop November contract is down 9 1/4 at 929. And on the wheat trade here in Chicago, September, we're trading 8 1/4 lower at 432 3/4, and Kansas City wheat has September now trading at 429 1/4. That is down 7.5 cents. And the Minneapolis wheat, which everybody has been beating up on this week, it's continuing that assault. September down 13 1/4 at 656 3/4. Hard to believe we're down just testing $6.50 on that one. Cotton market, by the way, on the December contract is still under pressure, down 41 points at 67.34. It's hard to find much in the way of silver lining here today, Todd.
No, Marlon, I'll tell you, I'm getting to a point. It's getting very close for me to say I don't think they can go higher anymore. I still think there's a chance, and I do believe that the equity markets have put their top in this morning. So if that is indeed the case, then I think some of that money will then flow and we can get back going here. But right now, there's just an enormous amount of pressure on the grains across the board now. I still believe that corn and wheat can move higher, but I'm getting a little bit concerned. And if we go much lower from here, I'm going to have to sell my own positions out and say, hey, I have to look for a better entry, because it does not. Things do not look healthy at the moment in almost any market across the globe right now, and this is a very big concern right now.
Todd, if you don't mind, can I bring you back here in a minute, and we'll see if we can find a plus sign on the livestock side?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's try it. Todd Bubba Horwitz is in Chicago. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Well, let's return to our conversation with Todd Bubba Horwitz of BubbaTrading.com in Chicago, and we're going to focus now on maybe the outside markets and then this livestock trade too. One quick thing, you were talking about the equity markets today, and we noticed a big sharp rally in the value of the dollar this morning. We can take a peek at where it now stands. On the dollar index futures here, we have September up 570 points at 93.880. Crude oil trade, by the way, if we look at West Texas Intermediate crude, we have September down 41 cents at 47.18 per barrel. Todd, your thoughts on this dollar movement today? What's going on with that?
Well, I actually thought that the low of the dollar was going to be around 94. As you know, we've talked about it for about 6 or 7 months. We got down to 92. I think they showed last week that the bottom is in the dollar, and you're going to start to see the dollar start to move. Now, I don't think that will have as dramatic effect on the commodity markets as we think it's going to have. We're already well below everything else, but the biggest key here, it's going to have more of an effect on interest rates because the dollar down where it was actually making interest rates higher based on the value of the dollar. And I think you now have the ECB goofing around with the euro currency trying to bring that down. So it brings the dollar up. And of course, oil, as you just mentioned, oil is still in a range 47 to 49, but my target still remains 40 in oil.
Okay, now let's turn our attention over to the livestock here, and we'll look first of all at the live cattle board and get everybody updated on prices. Boy, they have turned around and really firmed up here. Look at this, October now at 107.68. That's up $1.08 on the day, and that's almost $2 off of our earlier low this morning. Quite a turnaround all of a sudden. December up $1.02 at 109.82. Remember, they closed weaker yesterday heading into the final bell. Now on the feeder cattle side, as we flip over here, we have September up $1.02 at 143.80, and that's just a dime from our high of the day. And the October at 143.22 is within 10 cents of its high of the day. It's up 90 cents right now. A bit of a turnaround here in the early going on the cattle market so far. Are you hearing anything on the trading floor about that?
No, I think that everything worked out the way we kind of expected. You know, we actually liked them starting about 112, 111, but our final entry was in just under 106, and we have the bouncer. I think we go higher, and I was kind of baffled that the feeders weren't higher with the low price of grains all of a sudden. So there's a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense right now, Marlon. But I do believe that the fats are going higher from here. I think that they found their final bottom. I know there's been a lot of people out there calling for 102. You know, I get phone calls all the time with a little bit of panic, like, oh my God, do we have to get out? And again, I don't think so. I think this is a great spot to be in. I think we're going to see higher prices from here. My one concern is feeders still have a little bit of more room to work on the downside around 140. But if they were close enough, so if we decided to go from here, I wouldn't be concerned. But I do think they'll trade 140 before it's all done.
All right, Todd, a quick look at our lean hog trade, and we'll see that the August dropped off the board yesterday. We have October taking the leadership role, and it's up $1.37 at 70.55. Now 70.48, and December now up $1.18 at 64.68. Obviously, it looks like bull spreading taking charge. Nearby is leading the charge higher. Todd, I wish I had more time. I could talk with you all day about the markets. I do have to let you go, but I appreciate it. I encourage everybody to check out your website, BubbaTrading.com. It's a great site. So, Todd, I'll talk to you again soon, all right?
Have a great day. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care of yourself. Todd Bubba Horwitz of BubbaTrading.com. Lots going on in Chicago.
Lots going on. Going to be a lot going on next Monday. Have you got your glasses yet?
I do.
You do? I haven't found mine, so I've got some shopping to do.
I may have an extra for you.
All right. Good deal.